Hello Agora, my name is Joshua. I want to quickly demonstrate the application I built for the requirements to be an ambassador student pro to join the ambassador student program for Agora. All right, so I think the first thing to do is to demonstrate what I built, then we can talk about it. This is Whoop. Let me do a quick refresh here so you can see exactly the entire thing. So we've got a little bit of load animation that comes up when you open it, and then go whooping. Hopefully it works. I have some edge cases that I have not tested for. Ooh, it works, it works. Okay, so you can't see me because it's dark out here, but what you've got here is like a little interface that has everything in it. So you have where you see the video stream, and you have a little bit some buttons down here. This is to cut off the audio stream. So right now, if someone is on the other side of the call, he or she would not be able to hear me because I just cut off the audio stream, and then close the camera stream. As you can see, I have some bug. This is supposed to turn and change the icon. Oh yeah, there you go. And then I can leave stream, and then I'm back to where I was. All right, this is so let's see what we got. So Whoop is a chill place to meet people, and the idea to build chill came from my interaction with a service called Omigo. So Omigo is a place, a service where you can have conversations with random humans on the internet. So the idea is to you just go on Omigo. Let me pop it up quick. You have conversations with stranger, and since the task I was given was to build anything using the Agora Video SDK or any of Agora's products on whatever platform, this sounded or felt like the right thing to do for me because I have always loved Omigo. I see use on YouTube a lot because of the service, and why I really don't like the interface and some of the UI and stuff. And since I'm like, all right, so there's an opportunity for me to just do like a proof of concept for the for the task. So that's on Google. So it's a chill place to meet people and you get to talk. So that is the idea. I wanted to build something a better version of Omigo, but in a proof of concept way. So the barest minimum that makes it work. And that's what the idea was. Now, what does the architecture look like? All right, let me pull up this drawing from the Agora docs. Behind the scene, without talking about stack or anything right now, just how there's Whoop works and how does Whoop connect with Agora SDK, because Agora SDK is the major thing that powers the entire idea. So behind the scene, um, this very nice communication happens between the user, the SDK, and also the Agora remote server. So when it joins the when the user joins the stream or wants to join the conversation, this conversation that sounds more appropriate in this case. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get okay. All right, so when user joins the stream, what happens is there's a call need to set up the local stream and get your camera, your things, and this is on your browser. This happens on your browser, and all you do is you check if you are connected to a remote stream or something like that. But all those happen in your browser, and then you have the user. The user is the other person that is joining your conversation. So I can demonstrate that real quick with Whoop. So let me just set it up quickly. So right now, in the code, which code sandbox. I don't want to use my local code environment. So let's use code sandbox. Makes it real quick to just demonstrate. In my use the JS, main.js file. What's happening there? So when I click the whoop button, the whoop button does one thing. It invokes and calls the join stream that we have here, and which this is just shows loader that you see when it comes up. But the bulk of the work, the business logic there is this join and display local stream, which is doing a couple of things. It is attaching some event handlers to be able to respond to when client joins and when client leaves. So Agora refers to that as user published and user unpublished. And this client comes from the instance I created from the Agora SDK, the RTC. You can see up here, and then I use it to create a client. And by passing a mode, there are two modes, RTC and one other mode. I have everything in my README as notes I took when I was working with, when I was learning, trying to fit all of this. So there's a the mode property can be set to either live or RTC, and that is what you should get. So there's VP8, and that refers to the codec. Let me show you. I think I wrote the other the other type here. The codec property, the codec. So that's just code. The codec refers to how should the video stream and whatever be processed. So VP8 means something cool, and then that is what is it. So it's attaching all this. This is a function. This function that is somewhere in the code, and so when the other thing that this does is, I think I should get rid of this. Okay, so it's creating a UID. So by trying to join, passing the app ID, the channel, so the channel name. So what channel are you joining, and then the config, the token for the channel, and all this is, you can get it from your Agora dashboard when you create an account on Agora. I will show you the quick report. Let me duplicate this tab. So I can show you when another person joins. Yes, so I'm creating, when you call this, the promise that returns UID. This is UID is what you use to identify every single person on the stream, and it should be different for every participant on the call or the stream. All right, so I'll get some talk. So whenever another person joins, you get the second screen, and that's because of the way what should be called more extensively, but let's talk about the architecture. Let's go back to I said it initializes the video SDK and sends the what was it? Okay, so when a user joins, you do the authentication, and that is browser based really to the SDK, and then it sends a request to join the channel. So you have to provide a channel name, and then if you got permission or something like that, you are allowed to join because the request is accepted, and then your local media tracks is internally processed and allowed, and you set up your video stream and your audio stream, and then it pushes your local media streams and your everything on your local stream to Agora, and then Agora sends it over across the internet to the other participants on the call, and then you also get the person stream. and then it goes back and forth like that. So anytime something changes, and because Agora, as the way Agora is built, is low latency, it's the changes, the when you make the movement from when you communicate is not really visible because of the way Agora is built, it's low latency. And then when you leave the call, you can you can you can leave the call, and that is when you're published and where it stores it. So this is for when a user joins your stream, and then this is for where they leave. And I'll show you what you undo user join us. So when I join the stream, you see it creates a second box, a second video content. All that for me. This is a bug that I need to fix. So bear with me. Let me leave one stream right now. So if I leave stream here, let's see what happens. I've left the stream here. Boom. Right in the my original creation, the original stream, you can see that it has deleted the other two video streams, the remote video streams, and that is one powerful feature Agora gives you. See, I built all of this in bare minutes, man, bare minutes, because of how powerful the Agora SDK is. If I had to implement my web the web RTC using the traditional or using the web APIs that are provided, oh my god, it's gonna take me hours, but I did it in minutes. So let's look at the text style. Now this is the part where I really would go into the code and see why I made some decisions. All right, so this was building a concept, and it was a bare minimum. This I was supposed to, and I was trying to test out an idea. Normally, you might want to use a framework and to undo a lot of the and create components, all of that. But as I was building a proof of concept, I needed something that was fast. I needed to just test out a concept with it. I decided to stick to the Holy Trinity, the backbone of the entire internet: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. None of the other fluff, nothing else, just these three bad boys, and I got what I wanted. So I built this using bare HTML, vanilla JS, JavaScript, and just the loving and ever-loving CSS. And my stack really is using Vite. I decided to use Vite instead of any other bundler out there like Webpack, Parcel, or shit. I decided to use Vite because it's really fast and gets me what I need because of its speed. And then the Agora Video SDK, the backbone behind the entire thing that ties it all together and gives it. There's like, if I was considered this is like what makes my business logic work. And then Iconify. Iconify is an icon that is an icon pack for all icon pack, like the granddad of all icon packs. It contains all icon packs, and that's what gives me the logo and the button for the mic and stuff that you see on the page when I load it. And then Railway. Now, the way, let me just flip talk about it. Railway is a service that provides a backend that you can that provides in a way just allows me to run code on the internet and gives me like a backend sort of like I'm not really sure because I've not really explored it. So let me just pull it up real quick. I'm learning together live with you. Right. Now, why that let me just talking about what so Railway, we'll get back to you. So, and also token server, I'll get back to token server because that's tied up to Railway. So I need to fix the loading animation when live stream is pressed. If you notice when I press live stream, there's a kind of there's a shake. The animation comes early and then reappears. It's just jerky and doesn't make any sense. So I'll fix that. Then random user logic. Now, the way Whoop works is whenever you in my code, I'm passing the channel name by using is that coded. the way you want to do it is you want it to be random. So when I click go whooping, it should randomly pass a channel name for a random stream that is happening somewhere, and then also get communicate with the token server. So back to Railway. Yeah, so this is Railway. So it's a cloud that is complexity out of shipping software, and I'm not familiar with it. What I'm familiar with is using other like cloud functions and stuff like that. If I know with Vercel, which I'll talk about in a second. So they say you can deploy an app to production in minutes. I think this is just most used application has a lot to do with server handling server stuff, and it's very cool. Like I really love the interface of Railway. So, but anyway, that's not really important right now. So then you also have to pass a token in my code. Let me show you real quick. I have this config object initial declared and initialized to, if I can show you my can I show you? Let's see. I think I have an EA video example. Okay, good. So I have app token in my environment, one of my environment variable. I can show you the real one because I got real live stuff. Oh, I do not even have it on my GitHub, which is good. Never have your environment variable on your GitHub profile. All right, so where's the code? Yeah, good. So this is fetching it from the environment variable part, and this token is, since I'm using Vita, I have to follow this pattern. This token is provided from the Agora dashboard, and it is created based on the channel name. So what I mean by random user logic is you want to have a way where you can randomly get a channel name and then get authenticated. Now that brings me back to what Railway is doing. So Railway, if I go to my dashboard, there's something called token server. So right now I'm currently passing in the token for the communication between the two clients I have. I'm passing it manually. So every time I press the whoop, it's using token and all that setup. But one thing about this token is they expire after 24 hours. If I go back to my yes, I have the information here. So see, I say temporary tokens will expire every 24 hours. To use in production, you can use a token server to generate tokens dynamically. And that is all I need the Railway app for. It is running a token server, and this was pretty easy to set up because Agora has made it very easy to have this up and running. Like I just clicked around, clone to a GitHub thingy, and also I just clicked deploy or something. I can't remember exactly. This was 15 days ago. Yay! And then it came online, and I have a token server, but the implementation is more than that. Anyways, can I show you variables? Let me review. Okay, good. It's behind this, but you don't want to be careful when you review your code online. All right, so it's using their information and creating and authenticating every user that joins. But what you want to do is you can't keep the token. You can keep the token hard coded. So you notice that I showed you the what is it again? Sorry, I keep freaking out. See, I had coded this token here. This is not the way you want to do in a production environment. Is what we allow you to dynamically assign tokens to people to get authenticated as they come, and that is what I mean by also random user logic and also token server. Token server that gives you token. You don't have to hard code the token. In fact, every day after 24 hours, I have to manually this is crazy, but I said this is proof of concept, so I think I'm allowed to to break a few rules there. So every day I go to the Vercel. Let me show you real quick. Vercel. Oh my God, the network is terrible. I go to Vercel and I go to my variables. Like I said, you want to be careful about your parameters in production or in testing. Come on. Oh, virus. Please. Okay. Let's just assume this is done all the thing and just denotes our time. So I come here and then I manually replace or refresh the token. So I come here, delete the former app token, and I create a new token on Agora dashboard, which so I can get it right. Okay, see if you notice I updated this 12 hours ago. This is I added all this 30 days ago, but you see this one is updated 12 hours ago. I have to keep doing this so that Whoop can work. If I don't, the console log errors will slap me with lots of red, and I do not want that. So I come here and do that. To avoid that, what you need to do is to create a token server, and the process is pretty fairly simple. So vanilla JS, and this is all I'm doing. When a user joins, as I said, when a user is published, which basically means when a user wants to join your stream, what do? I handle that by create the ID that comes from the person. Since I have an array called the remote user, an object called the remote user for anybody who joins, I just create a new object. I create a new property for the person, and using the user ID, I'm just assigned to the user. And then I subscribe to the person's local track, which is being streamed to me from Agora. See how very simple it is. Imagine I'm doing this with the WebRTC tools. Terrible difference. So all of this is just DOM manipulation, where I'm just creating DOM. I don't want to get into it, but the bulk of it is lots of interaction animation. So I can when download, check timeout, so the animation comes up. I could have used an animation library like GSAP or any other, but like I said, this was bare bones. I had to use the things that we get to me I was going faster without adding extra clutter or having to import some tools where I'll just use a thing or two. My intention is to be as lean as possible. And this is important when you're choosing stocks or choosing the way to build, because you want to build with less technical burden as possible. Get what you need without adding any of the bloats and maintenance L. And I've used utils system where I save some functions that I use in multiple places. So I just kept everything here. So like for example, this is get by ID. Since I'm using vanilla, I'm having to do with a lot of targeting a lot of DOM elements. So this helps. So I just have a function and then pass the ID in straightforward, and it returns the document element. And this is to show the loader. So once I call show loader, it spins up their stuff. I think I can demonstrate the close. Yeah, see, so when I did go open, what brings this up is that show loader. You feel me? Yeah, so and that is when I call this, it also so I'm using any animation. Yes, I'm using the web animation API. This is it. Okay, so that's the tech stack, and what have I learned? What exactly has this journey taught me? And I think I'll take you back to this. Um, Several things, but the first thing is build fast and ship fast. I was given a week to implement this. I think this has taught me to build software with and just ship things fast and get things out there as quick as possible. And that is very important in our world today, because a lot of people there are lots of distractions going out. You want to be quick to market, which might be conflicting because you might be talking about shipping fast and having issues with your features and all, but it's always a proof of concept anyways. And I love startups. I love reading about startups, and it's always good to ship fast, be agile, be up and running. You can hide things behind a feature flag if you don't want it to show in production. So just get out there, quickly test and communicate with users. And the other thing I've learned is, honestly, it's really easy to build a real-time communication system, a real-time application that has to do with video call or chat using Agora. It was super easy to just set this up. I read the documentation, which is fantastic, by the way. I'm trying to pull it up, but let me see. Yeah, which was really well made, by the way. So this is the docs. It contains everything you need with example application and stuff. So I think one of the things I learned is sometimes the way frameworks and libraries out there that you to simplify those lifetime and save you from all the stress. This is a very typical example and very wonderful example of where you might need to use a solution built by somebody else to do the workflow easy. And Agora SDK is going to be the backbone of what majorly the entire concept here. So that is exactly how that is one of the things I learned as well. And something in mind, but I've forgotten. Anyways, let me just say this to, I think that's a long slide there. As I round up, this has been a fun task to build, and honestly, I enjoyed myself while building this, and I can't wait to be part of the ambassadorship program and build more exciting things like this for people and also learn. And I understand that ambassadorship program will give me an avenue to learn from mentors in the Agora, and I can't wait to meet some of these folks and say, oh my god, what you build is great, and thank them for this, because this has been awesome and wonderful. And I want to connect with Agora engineers and also, perhaps if I can just see some of the when you're building this, maybe coming on the office hours and stuff. This would be nice. And that is exactly how I built the Whoop. What I built the Whoop. I walked through the architecture and some technical stuff. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you in the next one. Oh, sorry. Thanks for listening, and bye, Agora. This is not a YouTube video. Bye.